Hi, and welcome to Screens in Focus podcast, where we share and connect as we spotlight our favorite shows and movies. I'm Diana.
And I'm Brooke.
And this is episode 65. Today we will be talking about The Walking Dead, season 10, episode 2, We Are the End of the World. We will also discuss the movie Ma and Widows on HBO. But before we dive in, how are you doing today, Brooke?
I'm doing good. I'm feeling really happy. I've got my clown face on. I got my Harley Quinn t-shirt on.
I love it.
Thank you.
You look awesome.
That was fun. I was like impromptu dress up day.
Yeah.
Right? So I love Halloween. And hey, any chance I get to paint my face or throw a costume on, which is only October for me. I know,
right?
Yeah.
And you look awesome. I love it.
Thank you. And I love your pink ladies.
My pink ladies, yeah. Except for
so
I could not find my glasses, and now it's killing me.
Yeah.
I've got to find those. So
And it was impromptu, so it's, I sprung it on.
sprung it on me, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I got to find my glasses. So we are dressing up at improv. So
cool. I could paint your face for you.
I don't know what I'm going to do. I thought about just being Pink Lady, but that sounds so, well, I'm doing it here, but I don't know. I think I want to be something a little more creative like you.
Let's do it.
Yeah, that's very cool.
That'd be fun.
So in watching this episode, we see Beta wearing his best friend's skin.
Ugh. Creepy.
So have you ever shown loyalty to your best friend? How would you show that?
Well, I guess it would depend on the circumstance. I mean, if, let's just say my best friend fell right in front of me, would I laugh or would I just instinctively go and help her up? Mm-hmm. It just depends on the fall, because I've been laughed at as soon as I fall.
Oh!
And I laugh too. But the thing is, do you laugh before you find out they're okay? Or do you laugh after they're okay and laugh together? So for my best friend, I'd want to be like, oh, are you okay?
Yes, most definitely.
See if they're okay.
Yeah.
If they're laughing too, then hey, green light, laugh.
Yes, exactly.
Right?
Yes.
Otherwise, what if they're really hurt?
Exactly.
That really bugs me kind of when, and it's fine. I'm typically okay, but I've been laughed at when I have fallen by friends, and I'm like, you don't even know if I'm all right. And I'm thinking that internally.
Yeah. I love the way you look, looking into your face, gazing into your eyes. I'm like, I like this.
We're going to do this every time.
Yeah, we're going to have to. I like your lips. They're all outlined, your eyeshadow. You guys have to see our picture. So go to, our website or Facebook.
Instagram.
I'm sure we'll be posting them.
Oh,
so
thank you,
Diana. Very cool.
The dog was barking at me, and David was tripping out on me. He was just staring at me and staring at me. Yeah, it was pretty cute. What about you? How do you show your loyalty to your best friend? Well,
it's funny, but when I was thinking about this question, it reminded me, I'm a loyal person as it is. I'm loyal to people, family, shows, all kinds of things. I'm super loyal. I mean, that's one of my first probably 3 things that people probably would say about me. But in thinking about this, about showing a loyalty between your BFFs, it reminded me when I was a kid, my childhood friend, who we are still friends together this day, and we just had lunch last week, or last weekend. But we did the blood sister thing.
Oh, you did? How funny.
We cut her finger.
That is so cute.
Did that thing. And so we talk about being sisters. So
that's awesome.
Yeah. So it's kind of a fun thing to...
They did that in the movie My Girl with Macaulay Culkin.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And I look over at Dominic and Gemma. I'm all, don't you ever do that.
I know, our parents probably never knew. But I'll bring it up every once in a while. Remember when we did that? We're
that's
blood
so
sisters.
cute.
So,
Aw,
yeah.
that is so cute.
That's a good memory. I mean, sure, it probably hurt my finger. Don't ask me how we cut ourselves. I don't even remember that part of it. But
oh my gosh.
and it wasn't a lot.
That's so funny.
But yeah, we're like, we're doing this.
Oh.
So,
Well, friends out there listening, let us know what you think. How would you show your loyalty to your best friend? You could leave us a comment on Twitter at Screens in Focus or at Screens in Focus Facebook page. You can also follow us on our Instagram at Screens in Focus. And you can subscribe to our website and our YouTube channel.
Screens in Focus.
So,
Oh, gosh.
my friend Diana,
Yeah.
tell me your overall thoughts on this episode.
It was a really good episode. We finally get to see how Alpha and Beta met and their backstory, along with seeing how Alpha parented Lydia. And then in current time, we see Alpha handle the young woman Whisper who had to give up her child to the walkers. And it's all very creepy and cult-like.
Ooh, that's a good way of looking at it. I didn't think of the cult until you had said so. So yeah, I'm still curious about her and Lydia. And I was especially pleased to see some of what Beta was like. The acting was amazing as well as the film. And it had some great special effects. And it was a scary episode.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
So with Alpha and Lydia, we get to see 7 years back, and Alpha and Lydia are on the run. And in the opening scene, we see a woman trying to escape the walkers, and they get her, and they tear her apart and eat her face.
Yuck.
It was disgusting. And then poor Lydia gets to see this too. And then, of course, she's a little girl. She screams. And of course, the walkers turn and start to go after them. And they run and barely make it into a facility, which is where they meet Beta. But, Alpha is so harsh in her parenting Lydia.
Yeah, she really is. I guess the facility was a
Was it a mental
rehab?
health? Oh, okay.
Rehab facility.
I don't know what it was. I thought I heard someone say it was a mental health. I'm like, oh, I missed that. So
okay.
Maybe it was a
That I don't know. I mean, you
rehabilitation.
would think because of the padded room, but I read that it was a rehab.
Oh, okay.
So they ran into that facility, and just looking at them, Alpha and Lydia, it just made me believe that Alpha she does have that maternal side to her in a really cold and insensitive way, that she takes care of her daughter and blames her for for almost getting them killed.
Yeah.
Again. And Lydia wants to prove to her mother that she can be just like her, brave and not afraid, and a monster. But she's a little girl and she doesn't have the best decision making, and she still has a lot to learn. Her mother, ends up being really proud when Lydia says that she wants to be just like her.
Yeah. And then Lydia puts those walker guts on herself and walks around, trying to be like her mother, and tells Alpha, I'm brave like you, or I was brave like you.
Right. Which was so, rewarding for Alpha. And she felt very good about that. Lydia seems kind of to be more of an inconvenience, and Alpha treats her like she's better off without her. And then, it's like she's treating her like she got stuck with her. Kind of like this pet that you didn't necessarily mean to adopt, but then you never fell in love with it. That's what I'm getting. Just like, there's just this cold, you throw food at it just to keep it alive.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
That's how I feel.
I know.
Sad.
So I just found it interesting because, it's like Alpha does love her daughter in her own way, but like you said, she really wants her to be like her. But being like her is a very bizarre way to be.
Sure. Oh, and then there's Alpha and Beta, right? Their relationship begins. And wow, what a, it was pretty cool to see Beta in his form 7 years before the current Beta.
Yeah.
He is extremely huge.
Yeah.
And that mask was intense, with the ski mask that he was wearing. And I personally don't think that I could ever trust a person with a ski mask or a beanie with eyes cut out of it. That, it was,
you're right.
It's creepy just standing
I feel
there
like you're being held
Michael
up
Myers.
all the time. Or, or raped or I don't know what. Yeah.
I was like, oh my gosh. And I was questioning the mask, right? Because he was wearing it before the skin.
Yeah.
Right? And Beto, he's wearing the t-shirt in the current episode.
Yeah.
Of the friend that he took the mask from, right? And I saw that in the photograph that he had.
I noticed it too, yeah.
Interesting. But, now we know where he got that face, the skin that he wears, which is, it's actually really cool. I love the special effects on that face. I mean, I wonder if it's at the Halloween store right now, because that's a really cool design. But it's disturbing. I mean, he just goes over there and just like skins it off. And, he then creates or forms this bond with Alpha.
Yeah, I know. And they chant together, "We are the end of the world," which is creepy. But, when we see Beta, he doesn't want to leave his friend. So Alpha says, "You don't have to," and hands him the knife. So, and that's when he makes his skin mask. But I watched it twice. And, I knew it was the mask, but I had forgotten that Alpha was the one prompting him to do it. So
she's all, do it.
I know, right? Yeah.
And then where's Lydia? Just standing there. She's like, what the hell is going on, you freaks?
These weird adults. So in the flashback, walkers come at Alpha and Beta kills one before it gets to her. And then he grabs them and he bashes their heads into the wall like puppets.
Right.
And he's so strong. And Alpha is impressed, and she tells him, "I like killing with you." And he says, "Yeah, you're different."
You're creepy.
And it made me laugh out loud. And then she talks about, walking with them and feeling like them. And Beta asks, "What do they feel?" And she says, "Nothing." But in current time, Alpha struggles to feel nothing when it comes to her daughter. And so Beta goes to find, in the current time, Beta goes to find Alpha and sees a shrine that Alpha has for Lydia. And he says, "You said you killed her. You want her back?" And Alpha looks so pissed, like she hates that he's calling her out. And he tells her she is never coming back. No matter how hard you try to replace her, she is gone, Alpha. And then it's interesting because Alpha agonizes. And she's my daughter, she's my baby. But then she turns again and starts yelling, "She's not like me." So she's losing it too.
That's tough. I did not expect to see her react the way that she did.
Right.
And then that creepy shrine that she has for her. It looked like a cradle. To me, like she wants her baby, she's mourning for her baby. And that was disturbing to see that. And, it's also kind of strange that Beta has no empathy whatsoever because Lydia was a little child 7 years ago. That's
That's true.
She was little. So now I'm wondering, was it a rehab facility or a
loony bin? Well, that's interesting because I hadn't thought about that. But at the same time, some parents are, let's say they're the parental figures here. Some parents are like, "Oh, they took off, let them go.
Yeah.
They're never coming back again." So, I think that if she was in front of him, and I think that he doesn't like seeing Alpha hurt. So maybe he doesn't want to see her in this pain.
Maybe.
So he's like, just forget about her.
Right.
But I'm interested to see what the Whisperers, what their reaction will be like knowing that Lydia's alive and that, Alpha just told them that she's dead.
Uh-oh. That's a good point.
Yeah.
Did she not think about that?
I know. That's what was so interesting. Because when he says, you said you killed her. I'm like, okay. You're going to get in trouble. There's going to be some stuff happening amongst the whispers.
Yeah, because they're already starting to whisper
There's a rebellion.
about her.
Yeah, I think there might be a rebellion at some point. Yeah. Oh, and so, which brings in these sisters.
Sisters. Oh,
Yeah. So Alpha has an interesting relationship with these two sisters. So there's a young mother and is out herding walkers, and she freaks out when she starts thinking about her baby. And, you know, the whispers are ready to kill her. But Alpha saves the young mother. And they have a really weird moment together where Alpha caresses the young mother. And it was, I don't know what your thoughts were, but she was like caressing her head. And then all of a sudden the girl screams and you see all the whispers and they all, you know, look. I'm wondering, what did she do to her? What was she doing? Because they never show it. And,
I know.
And the girl comes back. She's rejuvenated, but it's short-lived. Because later when they go out again amongst the walkers, she freaks out again. And she has a flashback of, you know, having to leave her baby. And she yells and attacks Alpha. So then Beta is pissed because Alpha was almost killed because she let this young woman live. And he says, we lost people. It was chaos. And Alpha says, there's clarity within chaos. And so she fears nothing. Oh, she says about Gamma, she fears nothing. And then she smiles. So Alpha sees some greatness in Gamma and has a ceremony, and that's when she names her.
I'm so confused
The
because
living sister, Gamma.
I don't think I saw that the sister attacked.
It happened fast. I had to see it again. So the young mother went to jump on Alpha. Gamma ran up, took her sister, threw her. So the walkers went after the sister.
Okay.
And so she saved Alpha.
Now I remember. Okay, that was interesting. And so you're right, the rebellion might have begun because there were other whisperers talking to the sister, and her name is Frances, I guess. And they were
the mother?
The mother sister.
Uh-huh.
And they were telling her, Hilltop, they have a farm, and she's like, it might be nice there. And then Gamma like pulls Frances away, and from that. So it sounds like people are whispering about maybe getting out, and maybe they're done living like wildlings and with their disgusting skins on them,
I don't know,
doing
sometimes,
weird things.
Well, they're always, even in cults that happens, right? Where you've got so many followers, but then you have a few people who kind of see, oh, look, we could live what we can, our normal lives over here. Mm-hmm.
So sad, though. I was, thinking about the poor little baby again. I was like, oh my gosh. That episode was really hard to watch.
Well, but the baby's alive, right?
I know.
Because for a moment I thought the baby was gone. I was thinking, oh, the walkers got the baby. But I forgot that Connie went and got it. So I'm like, the baby's still alive. Mm-hmm. So
we haven't seen Hilltop.
We will.
Mm-hmm. And, actually, for a while there, I forgot about her, Frances, and the baby until I realized that she's the one that was mourning the loss of abandoning her baby.
Yeah.
So she's obviously having past trauma, or she was having past trauma, and she was behaving reckless and on the verge of endangering the group. And, gosh, that's just got to be so hard. Having one sister, in that state of mind, and then the other one who's just like, snap out of it, pull it together.
Yeah. So Sister Gamma is played by Thora Birch.
Okay.
And she's actually doing a phenomenal job.
Uh-huh.
And like I said, she saves Alpha. And but I just can't believe that she threw her sister to the wolves like that.
Yeah.
I mean, that was her sister, but she says, hey, she's weak. And I don't think we're going to be giving her the Best Sister award. That's all I got to say.
No, and when Frances sees that Walker carrying that empty baby carrier,
Yeah.
and then she broke down and got herself killed, Gamma didn't regret doing what she did. And she, she said Frances was uncommitted to Alpha and the group. And so that's, I guess she just was, they're just different.
Yeah. So bizarre.
I know. Diana, what other things did you notice in this episode?
I noticed that the music was very jarring. It was intense. I mean, we heard bullhorns. It was very commanding. So it stood out to me. So I always appreciate when music is, complements what we're seeing. So I really like that. And the way the Whisperers walk, oh my gosh, so exhausting. They have to walk tilted, hunched over, and those masks seem so hot. So I don't think I'd make it as a Whisperer.
Probably not. But if you can do it here in the summer, you can.
That's true. And also that the horde is so huge. It was only a small portion of the horde that they have, in their possession, but I would freak out being amongst so many. Okay, so another thing that I noticed about the walkers is that the Whispers, talk amongst themselves and do movement, but the walkers never notice them, ever, which I find very interesting. It makes me wonder, is it because they're keeping their voices low and whatever else? Or is it that people have a scent when you fear? You know how they say dogs can sense fear in you? So it makes me wonder, do the walkers sense fear in people? Because why aren't they attacking these people? Not until somebody actually screams. But they make, pretty big motions. I mean, they do it kind of quietly, but they back up fast, or they talk as they're walking and saying, "What are you doing? What are you doing?" I'm like, a walker can't hear you. It's walking right next to you. So I just find that very interesting.
That is a good point. We might have to write to Angela.
I know. I want to know. Walker 101. What's the deal? What can walkers sense or feel?
Yeah. That's a good question.
What were things you noticed?
Well, I noticed that the special effects were really great, and the woman in the beginning that got eaten was so awesome and gross.
Wow.
But I loved it. And then Beta doesn't like Alpha to sing. He likes to hear the dead growl, right? That's the only music he wants to hear, apparently, is death. Alpha left Lydia in the padded room, which then they kind of talked about the stuffed bunny that she no longer wants because, she wants to be strong and brave and hard and a monster like her mom. And she told her daughter, Lydia, that if she doesn't become more like her, then she'll have no choice but to leave her behind. Ugh. That's just, see what I mean? And then what did Alpha see under Big Man, a.k.a. Beta's mask? She looked pleased when she saw his face.
Okay, so I heard a theory. So you know how they say Beta's connected to Fear the Walking Dead, how when Daniel had those record albums and it was Beta was a singer. So the theory is that Beta is actually someone famous, and that's kind of why he's wearing the mask, because people will know who he is. I don't know if this is true, because when she first did it, I thought, oh, does he have a big scar all over his face? Like, is he or is something, wrong on him? Is he deformed some way? What is it? But she did smile, so it's so hard to tell. But then when I heard that theory, I'm like, oh, that's interesting.
I like that. I'm going to go with that. It's famous Amos.
Yeah.
So Dan,
because we haven't seen any famous people, if you really think about it,
true.
right? I mean, there are famous people left and right, so it's interesting how no one is like, oh, here's the mayor of the town, or here's our governor, or here's I don't know, whatever they might be.
That is true.
Yeah. So
that's true. So I was going to ask you, Miss Diana.
Yes.
Why do you love the show The Walking Dead?
Because I love the show because they give us episodes like this that concentrate on the whispers, people that we should hate. And here they are making them relatable. And that's so impressive. And I love seeing their backstory, and I am excited to find out more about them. Mm-hmm. What about you? Why do you love this show?
Well, it's just good. And look how they explain characters so we can understand them. And the writing on that subject is so important because we have so many questions. And I'm happy that they are fulfilled and not forgotten. So thank you, Angela King, and the rest of the team. Love the show. Diana, if you could give an award to your favorite quote, character, or moment, who would you give your award to?
I would give my award to Alpha.
Oh, cool.
Oh my God. I can't believe I'm saying that because she is such a villain, but I can't deny how well she's playing this role. And, she is awesome.
Yeah.
And she is wicked and she's a scary cult leader. But through it, she still loves her daughter in her own way. She loves her.
Yeah, she does.
So, Brooke, who does your award go to? What was your favorite quote, character, or moment?
Well, I'm going to go with special effects team because it's hard to film in the dark, but the lighting was just enough to see what was happening, and I thought it was really well done. And majority of the episode was dark in that rehab center.
That's true. You're right. Yeah.
So,
but I didn't notice it.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
I think we even had the lights on because, like David's playing with his toys and while we're watching it, and it was nighttime, and we had the lights on, so it wasn't like we needed, some episodes of shows where like you got to turn the lights off because you can't see.
Yeah.
And it was totally fine. It was really well done. I thought it was perfect. So Diana, what else are you currently watching?
So for TV shows, I am continuing to watch Mayans MC. Please watch it, people. It's awesome. Season 2. This Is Us has been really good. The Voice with Gwen Stefani as a judge on there, and her and Blake bantering, not really bantering, they're like lovebirds, but it's very cute to see them. And but I'm also watching Temptation Island, and this show is like a train wreck. So crazy couples who put themselves in the worst situation. It's like, why would you even do this? But I don't know. It's like crazy. I can't believe that I turn it on, but I do. So it's just one of those things you probably shouldn't be watching. Anyway, and for movies, I can't wait for us to talk about El Camino Breaking Bad movie, but, Brooke and I will do a podcast on that. So I'm really excited that we're going to discuss that with you. But I also watched the movie Ma with Octavia Spencer. It's a psychological horror film about a middle-aged woman who befriends teenagers, and it becomes really creepy in their relationship. Okay. So it's just a fun, it's not comical, but what I mean is, it's a horror film, but it's not like, it's just creepy, but it's just kind of fun to watch it. So
that's awesome.
But I love Octavia Spencer, and in this role, I'm like, I don't like you in this role because you're a really creepy lady.
Yeah.
But that just goes to her acting skills, So, what are you currently watching, Brooke?
I watch a lot. I just kind of zone out sometimes when I'm watching, but there was a movie that I have recently watched, and it's called Widows. And it's a pretty good cast, but let me tell you about the movie and then I'll let you know who's in it.
Is it a movie? Mm-hmm. Oh, I might have watched it. Go ahead, tell me about it.
Oh, yeah. So it's, so there were a group of burglars or robbers, professional robbers, and they were men, and it went south. And so it appeared that all 4 or 5 of these robbers wound up dead altogether. In Chicago, and then their widows were left with all of their debt, and the bad guys come in and hit up the widow of the ringleader and is like, I need this from you because supposedly that last rob deal that they did, all the the theft was destroyed. So then these women had to figure out how to compensate these burglar or these other set of robbers that they needed to pay their debt to. And it ended up having a little bit of a twist. It's a very like, go women movie.
Yeah.
Viola Davis, Michelle Rodriguez, Liam Neeson, Colin Farrell was in it, Robert Duvall. So there were a lot of good characters, a lot of good actors, I should say, in this movie. And I thought it was pretty good. And I watched it on HBO. So I recommend it, if you're looking for something with a little bit of crime and a good story. And then there was a twist at the very end. Mm-hmm. Did you see it?
I did see it.
Okay, yeah. I liked it.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, was Liam Neeson in this? And then I'll know if I watched it or not. So yeah, it was good. I liked it.
Cool.
I like Michelle Rodriguez too.
Me too.
So it was cool to see her.
She did great.
Yeah. So thank you for that recommendation.
And thank you.
Yeah. And so that's our show. Thanks for tuning in. We are grateful you tuned in, and we hope something we said today resonated with you, gave you a chuckle, some happiness, some positivity, or inspiration. Please subscribe to our podcast and tell a friend. We would love more members of our TV club. Rate and review the podcast on iTunes and Stitcher. We need your feedback.
We will also be uploading new episodes Tuesday, November 12th, and our next shows will be on The Walking Dead Season 10, Episodes 4 and 5. You can find our website listed in our show notes. We'll see you next time.
Bye.